Good morning everyone. 20th June 2020. So we will analyze some important articles from the Hindu newspaper. But before that, we'll have some Monday motivation. So today's story talks about stop the complaining about your problems and start working on to solve those problems. So there was one guru, teacher, or we can say spiritual guru, and the people used to go to the guru to find the solutions to their problems. So irritated by the people coming with the same problem again and again, complaining about the same issues again and again, the guru let's say decided to teach a lesson here to the people. So what he did on fine day, that he I told the joke, one joke to all the people, and all people started laughing. So immediately after that, he repeated the same joke, and only few of the people started laughing. And he again told the same joke after that. No one laughed at that joke. So thereafter, the spiritual guru said to the people that, why are you not laughing? So the people said that you are repeating the same joke. So the guru replies that if you are not laughing on the, let's say, telling this joke repeatedly, then why you are complaining on the same issue again and again? So basically the essence of story is we should not complain on the problems that you are having in our life. Rather you should focus on solving them, how to find the solution to these problems, becoming proactive. So of course in your life also during this preparation of examination, you will face so many problems. Instead of complaining, ठीक है कि मतलब स्टडी रूम में पढ़ाई नहीं होता है, घर पे पढ़ाई नहीं होता है, ओके, दोस्त बहुत ज़्यादा बात करते हैं, लाइटिंग कम है, so many the students start complaining like this, and उससे पढ़ाई नहीं हो रहा है, ऐसे छोटे मोटी चीज़ है of course. So yes, one should overcome all these small petty issues and stop complaining about them, and you should find the solution to all these issues and problems. Yes, so let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Look at the first page. The important development: services rule out rollback of Agnipath, reveal hiring plan. So we are having follow up on this particular scheme, Agnipath scheme, recently launched by the government, and here the three different armed forces has come out with the hiring plan now, and they are going to we can say conduct the recruitment at the end of this year, recruitment drive. So we will find out the details what this let's say services are talking about in this recruitment plan. Yes, now yes, come to page number 6 directly, editorial page. But before that, on page number 4 there is Lukmaan IAS advertisement, and it is talking about GS Men's Test Series. So at Lukmaan IAS we are starting GS Men's Test Series this week, and those who are going to write the mains examination, it is a very good opportunity for them to join this test series, improve their writing skills, and get good marks in the mains examination. Okay. Yes, on page number 6, on left hand side there is one article, designation failure. The day before yesterday there was this news talking about China objected or blocked the UN security vote regarding designating one Lashkar-e-Taiba deputy chief Abdul Makki as a terrorist. Okay, so with this context this article is written, how China from time to time has been obstructing the designation of Pakistan based terrorists, and we should understand the, let's say, implications of this move. In the second part the analysis is done here. GS2 paper IR section. Fine. So other articles, that is fine. EPI वाला जो article है, so that is very specific to some indices and how the Indian policy makers should take input from those indices, तो उससे related है. So from prelims perspective, we had already covered environment performance index, where India was ranked as a last country, 180th country out of 180 countries, this year's index. So we have covered the EPI part from the prelims examination, so we will not repeat this. Now on page number 7, bottom side, Agnipath and pensions. So as we are having follow up on this scheme, Agnipath scheme, and we said that the one of the important criticism of this scheme is that government is doing the cost cutting exercise by reducing the pension bill or pension amounts in the defense ministry as a part of budget of defense ministry. So how much percent of the pension is given as a part of defense budget, and at the same time how much is the revenue expenditure and capital expenditure? In graph format it is mentioned. So this is that data, very important data for mains examination. If suppose the question is asked, you should be aware about this data. जब भी हम बोलते हैं कि it is nothing but the cost cutting exercise, reduce the pension bill, you write this fact in support of that argument. Okay, so immediately in your note you note down this fact, and that is going to be helpful for our mains examination. Now on page number 8, two important articles. Indian interest at WTO ministerial conference. So recently 12th WTO ministerial conference happened. So the outcome of that conference is important for our examination, GS2 paper IR section, GS3 paper economy part. Okay, so WTO as an international organization, it is important for GS2 paper, and WTO as a part of, we can say, international trade and its regulation and all. So that is part of GS3 also economy. So we will find out the outcome here and the significance for India also. On the bottom side, auctioning 5G spectrum bands. So recently the government announced that at the end of July month the 5G auctions will start. So with that context, this article written with details about all this auction plan is mentioned there. So GS3 paper economy part will cover this. Okay. On page number 10, bottom side, Agniveer to have distinct rank and insignia. Okay, so again we are having follow up on Agnipath scheme, and here the details of the schemes are coming out every day. So new details we should mention down. It is relevant to our prelims examination. They can ask question in prelims examination about nitty-gritties involved here in this schemes or basic features of this scheme. So government schemes, prelims examination. On page number 12, India Bangladesh should work on river management. So there is this meeting going on between our external affairs minister and the Bangladesh counterpart. So it is 7th round of India Bangladesh joint consultative commission. उसका meeting हुआ है, and yes, the specific river they talked about is Tista river. So we will cover from geography part about Tista river also, mapping aspects. So basics of this river. You can see that the Sri Lankan Prime Minister praised India for India's help to deal with the economic crisis. So we had earlier the follow-up of economic crisis in Sri Lanka, how it is unfolding, how India from time to time helped Sri Lanka. So they have expressed the gratitude for such help now. Yes, Indian interest at WTO ministerial conference. Let us understand first what is this WTO ministerial conference. This was 12th such ministerial conference that happened here, and this happens in every 2 years. This is relevant to prelims examination. This ministerial conference is basically the highest decision making body. Highest decision making body. It meets every 2 years, and decisions at WTO are taken on consensus basis, not on majority basis, on consensus basis. That means each and every member or the country needs to agree so as to have that agreement enacted under WTO regime. So this is how you should know the basics of ministerial conference, and this year's ministerial conference happened in Geneva, Switzerland. So that's why whatever the outcome of this conference is called as Geneva package. It is being called as Geneva package. Suppose in mains examination they only mentions about Geneva package. You should know that it is related to outcome of this WTO 12th ministerial conference. Okay? Yes. Now, what were the debates around agriculture in this particular conference, ministerial conference? First, you should know that the debate was related to export ban on commitments to World Food Program. Okay, so the countries are not allowed to have the export ban for the procurement under World Food Program of United Nations. This was finalized under this as an outcome of this conference. You should know India is one of the largest contributor to World Food Program, United Nations World Food Program. It works to ensure food security and eliminate hunger in the world. Okay, so this was first outcome. Second thing you should know here is that there was no decision on, again, public procurement program in developing countries like India. Okay, like for example in India we have this public procurement of food grains by the government under MSP regime, and FCI Food Corporation of India buys this, have some stock holdings so as to ensure food security and we can say buffer stock in terms of any kind of emergency, unforeseen emergency. But there was no decision taken on this public procurement program. Earlier you should know that many developed countries started criticizing India's or those programs in the developing countries, and there was this Bali package where peace clause was added here in 2013. This peace clause says that these public procurement programs can continue till the final decision is arrived on this. Okay, consensus based final decision, but still the decision is not yet we can say taken by the ministerial conference on this issue, agriculture related. Then what about fisheries related agreement? So major agreement related to subsidies to illegal, unreported, unsustainable fishing is now banned under the new agreement here. This aspect you should know. And let's say overfishing is also banned. You should know that under FAO this is 34%, more than 34% it will be overfishing. More than 34% of the fish resource exploitation is called as overfishing. So less than that is a good thing, because the replenishment of the fish resources are required. If there is overfishing, then the appropriate replenishment may not happen. It affects overall marine ecology. So that is we can say banned here, subsidies to such kind of illegal and unreported fishing. Along with that, the subsidies are allowed to developing and least developed countries for fishing in EEZ, fishing in their EEZ, exclusive economic zone. Okay, so subsidies are allowed to developing countries and least developed countries for fishing in their exclusive economic zone. What is exclusive economic zone under UNCLOS? This year's prelims examination, 200 nautical miles from the baseline. So that is we can say EEZ of that particular coastal state. So this is related to fishing. Then, have the current moratoriums on the electronic transmissions been extended? Yes, this is also extended. And what is this moratorium? What are, let's say, electronic transmissions? You should know that international trade and electronic transmission is difference. In ET, there is trans-border transaction to buy certain services and goods. But this good or service is not physically transferred, rather it is electronically transferred. Suppose we are buying, a particular person in India buys a particular game developed by foreign company in US. So that game can be downloaded in India directly on the internet by paying the amount to that company. In the same manner, some people are accessing to, buying movies, renting movies on those platforms which are hosted in US, online platforms. So we are paying for that services. What is this? Electronic transfer. So we should know that several countries including India want to have the custom duty on such electronic transfer. But these developed countries, they are against on let's say such kind of custom duties on electronic transfer. Now this time the current moratorium that is there on electronic transmission, on leaving custom duty on electronic transmission, this has been extended here. Okay, so you should know about this development also, electronic transmission. What were the discussions on patent relaxation? We covered this in last few days. Patent related to COVID vaccines, they are relaxed under TRIPS agreement. That means any country can start producing the vaccines without the concurrence of that company. So for COVID-19 vaccines we are talking, and the export of that vaccine can be done in unlimited manner. These two aspects you should know. However, in terms of therapeutics and equipments, for this there is no patent waiver. Okay, so this decision will be taken in future. At present only COVID-19 vaccines patent waiver is given. Fine, so you should know this is the outcome. In examination there can be direct question related to outcome of this year's ministerial meeting. Now, auctioning 5G spectrum bands. Recently government announced that on 26th July the 5G auctions will start in the country. So you should know this date also. Now, you should know about 5G spectrum, how it will be done in three separate bands. Low frequency, mid frequency, high frequency bands, they will be auctioned. It is being said that mid frequency and high frequency will be used for telecom companies to provide the internet connections with higher speeds of 5G. Okay, so we are expecting that it will be rolled out. This 5G services will be rolled out in later half of this year, but this rollout will be in staggered manner. Okay, in next 2-3 years it will be implemented. First of all, in big cities it will be implemented, then slowly it will cover the whole country. Now, what are the key issues involved here? First issue is related to reserve price, base reserve price we can say, at which this auction will be issued to these companies or sold to these companies. This is recommended by TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, and it is being said that this is very high amount. Okay, and that's why the different telecom companies and those who are going to participate in this auctioning, so small players may feel that this high price is going to problem there. First thing. Second thing you should know is some frequencies are reserved for captive use in certain sectors. Captive use, for example, some of them will be used for specific purposes. Okay, so for example, in the industries like machine learning is there, IoT is there, for captive purposes, not for, let's say, providing internet connectivity to the common people. Okay, so these two issues are being debated a lot, that how it is going to be helpful, how it is going to be implemented. ये सारे हम issues में लिखेंगे. Now, what are the common benefits that are likely to come with 5G? So, of course, first is very high speed of internet. At present, what we have is, we can say, 4G data speed 20 Mbps and 5G will be around 2 to 20 Gbps. ठीक है, ये 20 to 50 Mbps है, that is going to increase to 2 to 20 Gbps, gigabytes per second. So because of that, the people can download high quality videos like 4K videos, games that require fast speed. Second thing is that it is going to be helpful in several sectors like education, health, live streaming aspects related to education, in we can say e-surgery or telesurgery. This is going to be helpful in health sector. Then in new technologies, emerging technologies, Internet of Things, machine learning. So this is going to be helpful in industry sector also in this manner. Robotics, IoT, AI, machine learning. So that will get boost here because of 5G services. And of course, we can say that with the help of this high speed internet and connectivity, because of low latency, these are the important applications. Low latency means very less amount of time required from the source region to the destination region. Okay, the data flow we can say. So very low latency is there, and because of that these applications will be there, or benefits will be there of 5G. Okay, so discuss the multi-dimensional benefits or implications of 5G service in India. Straightforward question can be there. Designation failure. China's decision to block UN Security Council designation of Lashkar-e-Taiba Deputy Chief Abdul Rahman Makki as a terrorist. So GS to paper IR section. Let us understand the details involved. First of all, Makki is the part of command and control of UNSC designated terror group LET, later renamed as Jamaat-Ud-Dawa, which is also UN designated terror group. Makki was himself tried and sentenced by Pakistani Special Court to 9 years imprisonment on terror financing charges, a ruling overturned a year later. He is on India's UPA list of designated terrorists and also US specially designated global terrorist with $2 million reward for information that would convict him. So, to designate such terrorist under UN resolution 12-1267, this talks about designating terrorist under United Nations under UNSC resolution. So this was obstructed, blocked by China. So you should know that P5 permanent 5 members, they have the veto powers, and China is one of the P5, other being Russia and US, UK and France. Okay, so these are the P5 countries that are there, permanent 5 countries, and China has blocked this in the past also. You should know that in 2008, 2009, 2019, several, let's say, terrorists involved in attacks on India. So the China has blocked the bid to designate those terrorists under UNSC resolution, this one, in the past also. Okay, so from that aspect we will discuss this. First, you should know that China is largely looking more and more India-US alignment as problematic to it or threat to it. Okay, US is aligning more and more with India, and because of that also it is, we can say, taking such decisions. Second thing is that recently FATF meeting happened, Financial Action Task Force, and there was, let's say, significant improvement in terms of removing Pakistan from the grey list, right? So it was expected that Pakistan will be taken out of grey list, and if suppose such terrorist based in the Pakistan was given designation under UNSC resolution, then ये जो है impact करता decision, and that's why this decision is we can say taken by China here. Third thing you should know that even in past China has blocked those terrorists to be designated as a terrorist under UNSC who had significant links to attacks in India. Okay, so ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए कि ये कुछ चाइना का, मतलब बोलते हैं ना कि डेलिबरेटली ये करना, क्योंकि ये इंडिया के लिए फेवर करता है इसलिए. So ultimately what we should talk as a way forward is that India should gather data, information on these terrorists and their activities and make strong case at international platforms. Strong case at international platforms to designate these terrorists as a terrorist under UNSC, and at the same time have some sanctions to on those countries where these terrorists are living. Okay, so in this manner we should talk about this. In GS3 paper, internal security part, we should know that non-state actors across the border, how they are influencing or impacting India's internal security, but this is specifically from IR section. Now, India-Bangladesh should work on river management. So there was meeting of 7th round of India-Bangladesh Joint Consultative Commission. Okay, so the external minister of Bangladesh visited India's external minister, and in that meeting, so India extended assistance in management of annual floods in Bangladesh, and Indian side wished to work with Bangladesh on artificial intelligence, startups, fintech and cyber security. So both countries are trying to work on the river management. There are total 54 rivers that two countries share here, India, Bangladesh, and let's say environmental responsibility in areas such as Sundarbans. So there is common responsibility. Along with that, in the past, India, Bangladesh have resolved border problems through land boundary agreement 2015. We shared or exchanged the enclaves there according to the verdict of Permanent Court of Arbitration PCA. ठीक है, तो ये सारी चीज़ें हैं, तो हम काफ़ी अच्छे रिलेशंस होते हैं, बट ओनली द प्रॉब्लम इज रिलेटेड टू रिवर वाटर शेयरिंग, स्पेशली तिस्ता रिवर waters of Tista, because West Bengal government obstruct any kind of water sharing of Tista with the Bangladesh. So that's why it is always in news. So about Tista river, quickly we will find out basic information. It is tributary of Jamuna river, Brahmaputra, which is called as Jamuna river in Bangladesh. Flowing through India and Bangladesh, it originates in Himalayas near Chungtang in Sikkim and flows to the south, cutting deep gorge through the Shivalik east of Darjeeling and turns southeast to run through Shivok Khola Pass into the plains of West Bengal. Basically, this river has changed its course. This is unique fact you should know. The river continued southward to empty directly into upper Padma river, that is Ganga river, but about 1787, in that year, the river changed its course to flow eastward, crossing Rangpur region of Bangladesh to join Jamuna river near Chilmari after total course of about 320 kilometers. Okay, so it has changed its course. Earlier it was draining into Padma river. One of the Ganga river, when it flows into Bangladesh, it is called as Padma river, and when Brahmaputra flows into Bangladesh, it will be called as Jamuna river. And this Jamuna is having one distributary also. You should know about that aspect. So it has changed its course in the past. Tista is the largest river in Sikkim and second largest of West Bengal after Ganga river. Okay. Now services rule out rollback of Agnipath, reveal hiring plan. Okay, so terming Agnipath the only progressive step to make the army younger, a senior military officer ruled out any rollback of scheme and said those applying for it should give an undertaking that they did not take part in protests that broke out after announcement. So very strict we can say wording is there by the officials of services. They are saying that the indiscipline is not tolerated in the forces, and those, let's say, candidates or youth involved in the protests, they will not be recruited here. There will be police verification, and if their name appears in the list of protesters, they will not be recruited. This is what let's say they are saying. You should know that Kargil Review Committee had reiterated the need for reduction in age, but it did not come about at that time. With Agnipath, the average age will come down from the present 32 years to 26, in line with the age profile of major armies worldwide. Stressing that future wars will be technology driven and hence younger profile is required here. Agniveers and their allowance would be same as of regular soldiers, and there will not be any discrimination. So this is the details, new details that are coming out, and this one is also there. Agniveers to have distinct rank and insignia. Okay, so Agniveers would form distinct rank in Indian Army, different from any other existing ranks. A distinctive insignia will be worn on Agniveers, their uniform during the service period. The recruitment will be all India, all class basis. Along with that, there will be periodic medical checkups, physical and written field test as governed by the orders issued, and performance so demonstrated would be considered for subsequent offer for enrollment in regular cadre. Okay, so other aspects we have already covered, and you should know that Agniveers will be barred from disclosing classified information gained during the service to any unauthorized person or source under Official Secrets Act 1923. Right, so they will receive all the benefits of medical facilities in military hospitals. They will also be entitled the military honors and awards. So fine, this is how, and at those personnel below the age of 18 years, we know that 17.5 years onwards to 21 years is the criteria. So those below 18 years, the enrollment form will need to be signed by the parents or guardians in accordance with the extant provisions. These specific provisions you should know. The leave, 30 days leave per year will be there, and there will be sick leaves also. We are talking about this data on pension and Agnipath scheme. So two important facts you should know. This chart shows the defense pension budget and the defense R&D budget as a percentage of defense revenue expenditure. At present, less than 5% of expenditure is allowed to R&D, while more than 50% is spent on pensions. Okay, so out of revenue expenditure, more than 50% is paid in pensions. You can see the pension as a percentage of revenue expenditure. Right, at present it is, you can see 51.4%, and this R&D as percentage of revenue budget, it is only 4%. This important factor, or let's say fact here, revenue and capital expenditure as a percentage of defense budget, increasingly lower share is being allocated to capital spending, which is meant for buying equipments, vehicles and all. Okay, so this red one is capital expenditure as a percentage of defense budget, and it is only 30.5%, and revenue expenditure is 69.5%. so it is 70-30 ratio. Revenue expenditure is more and capital expenditure is less. The government wants to increase this and reduce this, especially focusing reducing this pension bill. Okay. So what should be answer to this question? Okay, so consider the following statement about Tista river. It originates in Tibet and flows into India in the state of West Bengal. So we have to find the incorrect statements here. क्या करना है यहाँ पर? Incorrect statements find out करना. It originates in Tibet. This is incorrect itself. It originates in Sikkim and flows into the state of Sikkim and West Bengal. It is incorrect statement. It joins the Padma river in Bangladesh. Again it is incorrect. Not Padma, Jamuna river. That is Bangladesh. What you can say, Brahmaputra river flowing into Bangladesh. So both are incorrect. 1 and 2. C is the correct answer. We have to find the incorrect statements, right? Okay. So any question? Okay, then let us stop. Fine.
Welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Study general studies with Lukmaan IAS for building comprehensive knowledge. GS paper 2 and 4 will be taken by S. Ansari, and other papers will be covered by renowned faculties. Live classes are as effective as offline classes. The classes are highly interactive in nature. Your doubts and queries will be addressed, and there will be dictation of notes. In the last 10 years, Lukmaan IAS has set up a niche in the field of UPSC guidance.